Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. But if you did, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hey, I think we're going to do a random ranking today. We're going to go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, but if you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. Then I'll dive into that comment section and then we will talk about cinema. We'll talk about movies. We'll talk about DVD covers, Blu-ray covers, 4K covers. We'll talk about actors, directors. We'll talk about nostalgia. We'll talk about whatever crops up from those 3 films that we're about to pick. It's a late one. Normally when it's a late one, you ever had that drink, a late one? I think it's only available in Kentucky, but it's good. It's like a ginger ale type thing. It's good. But anyway, it's a late one right now. Actually, a late one, the drink is ale, the number 8, and then 1. I can't remember if it's the word 1 or the number 1. But anyway, if you say it quickly, it sounds like a late one. It's late tonight. But yeah, normally when it's a late one, I will get 3 movies that are next to one another. Should I do that again? That way I'm not traveling. You know what? I've already spent so much time talking about ginger ales. I might as well just get up and start picking stuff. So let's go over here. Ooh, I think that's a Blu-ray. What's this one? And then maybe, you know what? Let's go over here. Ooh, this one feels like it came from Hollywood Video. My buddy used to work at Hollywood Video, and he'd get a bunch of movies and then give them to me. All right, seen it? Ooh, it's been a while. Okay, I have some stuff I can say about it. Okay, and I think it did come from Hollywood Video. Nope, I got it from, here, I'll just start with it now. Bonfire of the Vanities. So this one, it might have come from Hollywood Video, but I didn't get it there because it has this sticker on it, which means I got it from a pawn shop that another buddy of mine worked at, and I would just get stacks on stacks on stacks of movies like this tall, and I'm carrying them out over to the checkout when he was working, and then he'd be like, you know, maybe $15? $15, and I'm getting stacks this tall or more. Like, I was paying a nickel, I was paying a quarter, like, you know, it was like 15 cents a film sometimes. It was just amazing. It was great to have a buddy in high places at that pawn shop. I loved it. So here, this is actually new, or I have new information on this that I never really caught before. I think I'm right on this, unless I'm messing this up, but I just watched this YouTube video of Kirsten Dunst going through all of the past movies that she has been in. She was like, they were feeding her lines from these different movies she was in, and then she was supposed to guess the movie to see if she could get it right. And she was actually doing a very bad job. She did not remember a lot of the lines. She thought they all came from the movie Dick. But she had one that, if I remember correctly, was from Bonfire at the Vanities, or Bonfire of the Vanities, and I think it was like maybe her first role ever, but she was like so young in it. She was just like a little kid. But yeah, you know, I think I've only seen this movie once, and I get it a little bit mixed up with The Volunteers, which is another Tom Hanks movie. That's Tom Hanks right here. Tom Hanks, Melanie Griffith, and our man Bruce Willis. But it's like this movie and The Volunteers both have Tom Hanks in it, and I can't remember which one of those movies he has like a rich accent in it, like, oh, well, maybe it's both of them, but it's like, that's kind of what I remember most. I think I remember him sitting in a limo or something, the back of a limo, but not like big style, like differently. Maybe it's just a fancy car or something, like a Bentley. Oh, well, it looks like right here, you know, like that, right there. But anyway, this is one that I need to rewatch. Okay, it says, take one Wall Street tycoon, his Fifth Avenue mistress, a reporter hungry for fame, and the wrong turn in the Bronx. Yeah, I feel wrong for ranking this one, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I have seen it, and that Kirsten Dunst story, which I think it was this movie, just kind of popped into my head, so I'm going to go ahead and rank it anyway. Next we have Stir of Echoes with my man Kevin Bacon. Also, Paris from Gilmore Girls is in this. She's a babysitter in it. This takes place in Chicago, which is cool. I live in Illinois. And, you know, there are baseball games in it. And let's see. Okay, so this one's interesting because Kevin Bacon he's hearing a stir of echoes in his house, and he's the only one that can hear them. So I mean, I don't know what more I had to say about that. I guess the rest of the family can't. Maybe that's it. Like, why is it just him and not the rest of the family? I can't remember. There probably is an explanation for it. It's been a couple years since I've seen this, but I do like this movie though. I don't know. Like I go back and forth on it. It's like a movie of its time, and it feels of its time. It doesn't feel of today. But you know, that's where a lot of the charm lies. Next we have Elizabeth the Golden Age. Now this is the sequel to Elizabeth. Now you may or may not know this about me, but I collect movies about the British monarchy, the royal family, dating back to early Brits and such, and this is no exception. And actually the prequel, not the prequel to this, but the original film, Elizabeth, is sort of what got me interested in the monarchy, British monarchy. And then what like really got me into it was the movie The Queen with Helen Mirren playing Queen Elizabeth. So I would say like those two movies, Queen Elizabeth II, I should say, because not this Queen Elizabeth, this is Queen Elizabeth I, but Helen Mirren plays Queen Elizabeth II in the movie The Queen. But yeah, that movie sort of was when I was like, okay, I think I like the royal family and the British monarchs, and like movies about them and learning about them, and it's just such a interesting life they lead, where they're like extremely privileged, extremely wealthy, but also completely captive. It's very bizarre. It's like, you know, parts of their life you'd think, oh man, I wish I had that life, but then other parts it's like I would never want that ever, or wished upon my worst enemy sort of thing, you know. So it's a very odd life they live, I think, because it's, you know, it's always hard to feel sorry for people who are wealthy. I mean, I don't know, that sounds very harsh. That's not what I mean, but like you understand when people are like, I saw Conan's interview on, I think it was Conan's interview on Hot Ones, where he was talking about, you know, like, oh, you're rich. What do you know, what kind of troubles could you possibly have? Maybe I've just heard Conan say it some other time. Maybe it wasn't on Hot Ones. So, you know, they get that a lot from the public because of their wealth and privilege, but then they also can't do anything. That is their life. I mean, I guess they can break away from it. Look what Harry did, but, you know, it's still like hovering around them. But, you know, those that are you know, a little more tied into it, you know, those in direct line, I don't know. It's all very interesting. I like this movie, but I don't like it as much as the first one. There's like a moment of like CG in it where I was like, ugh. But I always remember her Oscar, she was nominated for this, and Cate Blanchett was, and I always remember her Oscar clip. And it was the part where she's like, and I think I've mentioned this before, and any other time I pulled this movie, when she's like, I too can control the wind, sir. Yeah, anyway. All right, how are we going to rank these? This is interesting, because I like the first Elizabeth way more than this one. So am I going to drop this one? I don't know, this one's also cool, because here she is in the armor, you know, like went to battle. You know, but I think it's exaggerated a little bit in how much of the into battle she was in. Tom Hanks, my favorite actor. Do I put him up front? I don't know. Or do I put Stir of Echoes? I'm just kind of in the mood to watch it. You know what I might do, actually? I might rank... Okay, this is, you know, I say we rank them based on whatever criteria we come up with. And my criteria today is the order in which I want to watch them. And I think the order in which I want to watch them is this. I want to watch Bonfire of the Vanities. I always say at. Bonfire of the Vanities, just because it's been so long, and I'm trying to remember if it's The Volunteers or this movie where Tom Hanks has that rich accent. And then I want to watch Elizabeth the Golden Age, just because I'm less familiar with it compared to the first one, because I watched the first one way more. Actually, I haven't seen the first one in a long time, but I have seen it way more. And then I'm going to go Stir of Echoes because it's the one I've seen most recently, and I just, I'm not feeling the itch to watch it right now. So I think that's what my ranking's based on. How much I want to watch them right now in this moment when I'm about to go to bed and I have no time to watch any of these, so I probably won't because I got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So I'm going to go Bonfire of the Vanities, Bonfire of the Vanities, and then Elizabeth the Golden Age, and then Stir of Echoes. But my question to you is, have you seen these 3 films? And if so, what do you think of them? If you've seen all 3, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.